80 to 95%. That's the product launch failure rate, depending on which research you cite and how you define failure, etc. Most new products fail. Most new features don't get used. Most market entries don't achieve their targets. And the brutal truth is, most of these failures are completely predictable. The signs were there, the companies chose not to see them. Hello, my name is Todd Hagopian, the original Stagnation Assassin, author of The Unfair Advantage and Stagnation Assassin on Amazon. Today's stat, between 80 and 95% of product launches fail. Here's what the survivors did differently with the survivor bias stripped out for you. Let's talk about what this number actually means. The failure rate range comes from multiple sources. Harvard Business School research by Clayton and Christensen pegs the number around 95% for new consumer products. Nielsen research on FMCG launches has historically found failure rates of 80 to 90% within the first year. The range reflects different industries and different definitions of quote-unquote failure, but the directional truth is consistent across all of these studies. Here's the buried context that most product teams never confront. The research on product launch failure consistently identifies overconfidence in the solution before validation of the problem as the primary driver of failure. Companies invest heavily in building, marketing, and launching, and invest almost nothing in the unglamorous work of deeply understanding whether the problem they're solving is real, urgent, and unmet in the way that they believe. The survivor bias is equally important to name. The launches we study as successes are the ones that we already know about. The 90% we don't study are the failures, which means the product development methodology most organizations operate from is built entirely on unrepresented cases. The conventional product launch process begins with an idea. It runs through a development cycle, it builds a go-to-market plan, and then it launches. The voice of the customer appears as a simple checkbox, a brief focus group, a survey, a beta project or program that's too small and too friendly to produce a truly useful signal. This is product development as internal narrative. The story the team tells itself about what the market wants, validated by the people most invested in the answer being yes, not a good system. The Stagnation Assassin response here: you cannot attack a market you haven't accurately assessed. The most important investment in any product launch is the pre-launch validation work. Genuine, disconfirmation-seeking customer research that is designed to find the reasons that the product will fail, not the reasons that the product will succeed. One operational move that you can make today before your next product launch milestone: run a formal pre-mortem. Assume the product has failed catastrophically 18 months from now. Ask the team to write the obituary. What killed it? The pattern of answers will tell you more about real launch risk than any market research presentation. Fix the top 3 obituary items before you hit the market. The 10% who succeed almost always did. Let's talk about the one-line verdict. Most product failures are not market surprises. They're predictable outcomes that nobody was incentivized to predict in your organization. For more stagnation killing frameworks, grab The Unfair Advantage and Stagnation Assassin on Amazon. Visit toddhagopian.com for the world's largest stagnation database and continue to declare war on stagnation every single day in your business and every single week right here with us.